everybody. Welcome back to Heart to Heart interviews with CI Heartland. Today I have Mr. Keith Brown from the Daniel and Henry Company. Hi, Keith. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you doing, Kathy?
I'm doing good. Thanks for agreeing to do the interview with me today.
I'm happy to do so.
Good. Okay. Well, we'll just jump right in and get started. Do you know how long you've been involved with CAI?
I've been involved since about summer of 2008. I had previously worked in the industry for Woodard and honestly was not aware of CAI. I left Woodard on my own terms in 2007, worked as adjuster for a year for American Family. And then when I was hired by United Services Disaster Restoration, Jim Rabel asked me to put my focus on getting on property manager clients. And they were already involved in the apartment association. And I called up Bob Klages and took him out to lunch because at the time Bob was with Smith Management. And we had actually at Woodard done a large loss at Bob and Lanya's home.
Oh.
They had I believe it was a large fire loss in around 2004 or something like that. And I was talking to Bob and I said, I know Smith Management is involved in condos. Is there anything like the apartment association associated with for condos? He says, I'm glad you asked. And so I immediately joined up. I think that was right before you came on.
I think so. I was going to say, because when I was interviewing Jim Roopson, I was telling him that one of the first events I remember doing was we had like a mold program, and I think it was at United Services. And I remember that you and Jim were kind of both came on around the same time. So I remember that. Yeah. So long time ago.
It's been a while. 13 years. So
yes, it's great feedback though, because I didn't know it was Bob that pulled you in. So that was actually one of my next questions was who encouraged you to join CEI. So it sounds like we need to thank Bob.
Yeah, Bob was the one who got me involved with CAI.
I love that. I know it's been kind of a crazy year for 18 months for everybody. So what's the most challenging thing that you're facing right now in the industry?
Well, it's probably the same as everyone else who is in the business development or marketing end is just trying to get face-to-face, one-on-one meetings with people, get them out to lunch, get them to do 2 events. Obviously, we haven't been able to have too many of the CAI meetings, which hopefully that'll be changing next year. Although we thought it was going to be changing this fall.
We did.
Yeah, but that's really hard, because I don't like calling people and bothering them, and just getting a conversation, what's going on or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it seems to be a challenge running into now that I talk to managers is they would love to get out, but they're all so busy because everybody's looking for help right now.
Yeah, that's so true.
They're all handling bigger portfolios than they used to. So that's kind of a new challenge.
It is. It absolutely is. In fact, I met with a manager just last week to talk about that, the challenge of everyone trying to find good quality help too. So that's a good. So hopefully our members will be finding out more about some of the plans that we have about to handle some of those challenges. So do you have a favorite CEI Heartland event that we do every year?
The vendor manager reception has always been my favorite because it's just kind of the people involved with the organization, the property managers and the business partners, and it's usually the people who do the most or most involved in the organization who show at that. And we've really had some fun times with that. It usually goes past the hours that we schedule for it, and everybody seems to enjoy it. So
yes, it always. That's funny because when I'm asking people this question, a lot of people are saying the holiday party. A lot of people are saying on the manager reception too. So that's good to know that people like the same events that we do. So I'll let the events committee and programs know that that everyone seems to be liking those events. Do you have a favorite CI Heartland memory that you'd like to share?
I gave this some thought, and I can't think of one particular memory, but for me, the best part about CAI has been the people. A lot of the people has been around all this time, such as you, Bob Klages, Karen Corrigan, of course, Bob and Jim Roopson, but some other people I thought of who I got to know pretty well and had some great times with. Linda Schweppe, her sister Barbara Murray, Peter Glanville, who went on to AAA fame, Tom Rena, Lanya Mossman, Mindy Phillips, who worked with Lanya, Dina Reed, who also worked over there, Tammy Sprinkle, who was my main competitor for a long time, Brad Florick and Larry Reuter over at Brentwood Forest, Michelle Seagrass, Bonnie Vandermeer, Marjorie LaRusso, and I know I'm forgetting a lot of other people. This was just off the top of my head. I wrote them down, but it was. I have great memories of working with all those people and enjoying activities with them, and it's been a lot of fun working with the CAI group.
Aw, well, we are so appreciative that you joined 13 years ago, because you are a fantastic business partner. In fact, I use you a lot when I talk to other new business partners, and I tell them that you did everything right as far as like when you first joined and you got involved right away. So I use you as an example a lot to the new business partner. So I hope you know that. well, besides the part about having a good time and making a lot of friends, it also brought in a lot of business to our company, which it flows downhill. It brought income into me, so it was been a very good association for us. Good. Now I know you do this all the time because you're always sending me leads. But I'm going to ask you, if you were to talk to another business partner, maybe a board member, what would you say to encourage them to join CAI?
Well, for a board member, I would just simply say that there's nobody else who has their interests out and will do more for their board and help educate them on how to be a better board member. And that's just protecting your biggest investment there, your home or your condo that you're living in. As far as prospective business partners, whether you're providing a repair business or working on the units, or whether you're professional services such as insurance or banking or accounting, I can't think of a better organization for them to join if they're interested in doing work for multifamily residential housing and communities. A big advantage that I would say for business partners who are interested in doing this type of work, and also work in the apartment associations, which is fine, is that the big difference I've found between the two is that apartment are generally owned by large corporations who are only interested in the bottom line. No fault with that, but condos, boards and their associations, they all have a stake in it. This is their communities that they live and they own, and that's their investment there. And so that instead of the primary focus being price, their focus is the value, what's best for the community. Certainly price is a consideration, but it's also who's going to do the best job for them.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great point. Absolutely.
Also, just another thing on it, I think you mentioned that I kind of did it the right way, and that, I stressed to anybody who, I said, just joining and paying the dues is not going to bring in the business. You have to get involved, get to know the people. They have to get confidence in you. And then after you start getting the calls, what's important is the follow-up. And being the person that either the board member or the property manager in most cases is handling it, or the insurance carrier who's working with them, that you're the person who will answer the calls. You might not have the answer, but you could find the answer for them and take care of their needs.
Yeah, and and you made a good point just about building the relationship with those CEI members. Like a lot of people, just come for the fun stuff, and they don't always come for like the educational programs. And a lot of times, that's when you get to meet the managers and those board members. And you've always done that. You've always, showed up to everything. So for that, that's you just doing it all right. So
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there something that our members might not know about you or might not expect to know about you that you'd like to share?
Well, the statute of limitations on some of it might not be up yet. Most people who know me know that myself and my wife Elaine, we love to travel. We just got done with the European river cruise trip. This winter, after I retired last summer from full-time work. I'm just working part-time for Jim Rooks at Daniel Henry, and we rented a place down in the Florida Keys for 2 months, and we're going to do it again this winter. That's a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah.
And in another life, before I got into the restoration world, I worked for Delta Airlines for 17 years. And one of the great benefits of working for an airline, especially during that time before, when you had more flights going and the flights weren't as packed as you could, of course, you flew for free.
Yeah, that's nice.
When I took my buyout in 94, it also included 8 years of pass riding. So we took complete advantage of that. Of course, now I got to pay for airline tickets like everyone else, so we do more road trips than we used to. But we love traveling. It's always a great experience. So that's
great. Yeah. Okay, so now comes the time where I ask you some rapid fire questions. So you're ready?
I haven't had time to prep for these. So
no one does. So no one knows what they're going to be. So Keith picked the this or that category. So are you ready?
Okay, this or that.
Okay. French fries or onion rings?
Onion rings.
Yeah, that's what I would go for too. This is a hard one. Cardinals or Blues?
Probably Blues. I've been more of a baseball fan my entire life, but the Cardinals have won quite a few championships. When the Blues won a couple of years ago, winning the Stanley Cup for the first time in 51 years, that was very exciting. I got as excited about that as I have over any sport event in a long time.
Yes, my husband was the same way. I think we even shed some tears in our house when the Blues won. So, well, here, this is one that I don't know if this applies to if you've been to both these places, but European trip or Hawaii trip?
I have been both places. Boy, they're okay. I would go for Hawaii just because the weather's better. There's so much to see in both of them. They're both great. Actually, for exotic locations, the most beautiful place we've been to is St. John's in the United States Virgin Islands.
Oh, okay.
Fly into St. Thomas, and incredibly beautiful place, and it's pretty remote. It's not the easiest place to get to, but it's that would kind of be my number one place. But
Okay, I'm gonna write that down to put on my bucket list.
It's worth it.
Yeah,
it's worth the greatest sunsets I've ever seen. So
okay, well, hey, I'll check that one out one of these days. Lose sleep or skip a meal?
Lose sleep or skip a meal? I don't like to skip meals.
Lose sleep it is then, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Boating or camping?
Boating.
Boating. Okay. Do you
I got over camping when I was about 14 years old. So.
Were you a Boy Scout? No. Okay. Do you and Elaine own a boat?
No, she won't allow me to have one, and it's probably a good idea. It's much easier just to rent one, and then you don't have the headaches. So.
Oh, absolutely. Or if you have friends that have one, that's always fun too.
That's the best deal. none of my friends will buy one anymore. So.
We'll have to talk later because we got some CI friends that have boats.
Okay.
So, night owl or morning person?
I'm a morning person. In my airline days, I usually worked afternoon shift, which is like 2 to 10:30. So back then I usually didn't get to bed until after 2 o'clock or something like that.
Okay.
But since I'm not bound to any schedule, I generally get up pretty early.
Yeah, that's me too. I'm 100% a morning person too, so I can relate to that. early to bed too. So here's a hard one: hang out with little kids or old folks. What would you prefer?
Since I'm an old folk, I'd rather hang out with old folks. I like my kids when they're little and their friends, and I hope sometime we have grandchildren. I'll enjoy hanging out with them, but really hanging out with somebody else's little kids. The little kids can be annoying.
They can. It's okay when it's your annoying little kids,
right,
but
right.
I can relate to that. Yeah. Store-bought or homemade?
Are we talking as far as food?
I don't know. It could be food. It could be gifts. I was thinking gifts, but it doesn't.
I would always buy stuff at the store. If I tried to put something together, it'd be a complete mess.
You never know.
Yeah.
So, do you have a piece of paper and a pen handy, or a pencil by any chance? I didn't prep you for this.
Okay.
But every so often, I roll dice before we start, and I ask certain people to draw something. So, since you have all these aircrafts behind you, could you draw a plane for us?
Oh.
It doesn't have to be great. If you watch some of the videos, you'd be surprised at some of the beautiful pieces of art we have from our members, but it's kind of fun to ask.
Let me start over again.
Oh, no, you're fine. It looks like you must be a World War II buff, maybe, huh?
I'm a big World War II buff. That's... I love studying history, and in particular World War II. My dad was in World War II, and when I was growing up as a kid, just about everybody I knew, their father had served in World War II. So I think those guys in that era were great, as all guys in service, that put it on the line for their country and do that. So they have my highest respect. I was just watching The Right Stuff last night.
Okay.
And so this is a picture of a rocket ship.
There you go. Hey, I love it.
Drawing is not one of my skills, although would you like to see a painting I did?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay,
I didn't know that you paint. Wow. Exciting.
I can see it here.
Oh my gosh, that's wonderful. Wow.
And it's by numbers too.
Wow. That is
painting by
really
numbers
good.
is kind of a little hobby I've gotten into. It's fun to do and takes up time. And
I love that. That's impressive. We might have to ask you to donate one of your beautiful pieces of art for a CI event or something. That's wow.
I'm sure that might bring a quarter.
I think it would bring more than that. That's beautiful.
Oh no, it won't.
That's beautiful. I have literally no artistic ability at all, but I can bake.
Well,
but no artistic.
Do you know your numbers?
I do know my numbers.
If you don't know a number, you can paint by numbers. So that's not hard to do.
I'm not real good at staying in the lines, though, Keith.
Well, it takes a little time, and it's a good drill for yourself.
Okay, I like that. We learned two things that we didn't know about you. I love that. So
okay.
Now comes the point where we give you 30 seconds to plug either your favorite charity, you can plug your company, anything that you'd like to tell us about.
Well, I'll throw out a quick mention for Angel Arms. I forgot to mention them that we the organization has worked with them, and that's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Daniel and Henry, I do not claim to be any kind of expert about insurance. I know all associations need it. And the big advantage I think that Daniel and Henry may have is because they are the biggest insurance carrier in the state of Missouri. I'm sure they represent more companies that write master policies than other ones would. Also, I can assure you from working with them as a contractor, Jim Roopson gets completely involved in details on losses, and with associations, it's not always cut and dried on who is responsible on coverages. It could be the master policy on the unit. It could be the individual's HO6 policy. It might be a liability claim with a resident from a neighboring unit who is liable for the loss. So Jim and they have a separate claims division at Daniel and Henry that they have a person who handles commercial claims, so they can take care of the needs of their client as good as anybody in that business. But there are also some other very good insurance people involved with CAI.
Absolutely. So. But Daniel and Henry is also one of our diamond sponsors this year, so we want to shout him out for that too, because Jim's always very supportive of the chapter, so we want to thank you guys for that too. So yeah. Well, Keith, thank you for doing this interview with us. We really appreciate it. We appreciate you being involved for 13 years and coming on around the same time as me. So, and we thank you for doing this today. And we hope to see everybody next time on Heart to Heart Interviews with CI Heartland. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. It was fun.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.